Hey everybody, it's Rich Tola, and thanks for tuning in. It's Tuesday, January 11th, so that's 111. Good things come in threes. So hope you're having a great morning. I am. If I sound a little stuffed up, well, that is the case. I'm still not back to 100%, guys, but no worries. Keep moving forward. Worked out already. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk a little current events. Let's jump right in here because a friend of mine, I got a couple things to talk about. Just caught up with an old friend last night. Talked to a buddy of mine this morning who forwarded me this Bret Baier interview. You know, he's the Fox News anchor. He confronted Rochelle Walensky. She's the CDC director. Did you guys see that on Sunday? You could go take a look. It's a good interview. Well, he was urging her to counter inaccurate claims about children hospitalized by COVID made by Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. You guys see that? The Supreme Court Justice said that over 100,000 children, many of them seriously ill and on ventilators, were in the hospital. Well, and he fact-checked that because Fox does a good job of fact-checking and said there was less than 3,500. Okay, from 100,000 to 3,500. Okay, what is that? 15 times more, 17 times more difference. So clearly those numbers are very, very, very inaccurate. So why would somebody say that? Because this is what we're going to talk briefly about today, is numbers, confusion, and the truth. Because what is the truth, guys? Listen, you could believe what you believe, but you really have to go based on the truth, right? And if somebody quotes a number of 100,000, but the real number is 3,500, that's a big difference. Why are they saying that? Why are they making that up? Okay? And he also fact-checked and said the risk of serious illness for children is very small. So between the ages of 15 and 24, it's 0.001%. 0.001%, okay? So it's all about getting to the truth. And Walensky says 40% of patients coming into the hospital, this is what she said. This is something to note. 40% of patients that are coming into the hospital were sick with something else before they came in. So they came in sick with something else, and the COVID variant was detected. So they didn't come in for COVID, right? So the people in the hospitals, you got to ask yourself, what's going on in these hospitals, right? And then Baier goes on to talk about the number of deaths. They quoted 836,000 deaths linked to COVID, okay? But he said, how many of those are comorbidities? Comorbidities, meaning other things wrong with them. Obesity, high blood pressure, cancer. My Aunt Lucy is 102 and a half, 101 and a half. She died at 101 and a half. So what are these comorbidities? It said 75%. 75% of the 836,000 deaths had comorbidities. So what's that tell you guys? Are people dying from COVID? Yeah, I guess you could say people are dying from COVID. But are people dying with COVID and they have comorbidities, other things going on, and they're dying? Absolutely. We know that. What are the numbers? Who knows what the numbers are? Of course, if one person dies from anything, it's bad. One person dies from child abuse, it's bad. From drunk driving, it's bad, right? From suicide. We get the episode, Suicide Sucks. So, of course, death is bad. When people go to war, death is bad. 60-some thousand people died in Vietnam. Death is bad, of course. So, anyway, but the key is the numbers. Why am I talking about all this today? Because I'll tell you why. I had this conversation with my friend last night. And she called, give a shout out to my friends in Cali, her in particular. Well, you guys know, if I'm using names in general, if it's a real person's name, usually a shout out. Yeah, of course. Sometimes I just don't even like to use the accurate names. But anyway, the last time we spoke, I think it was like October, she ended up hanging up on me. Was upset over something I said because she's a vaccinated person with very strong opinions on that, and I was an unvaxxed person with strong opinions on mine. So we didn't exactly see eye to eye, but that's what's kind of going on in society. There's a rift between the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. No doubt that the unvaxxed are being persecuted. There's no doubt we're being persecuted. I was looking up jobs on Indeed last night just to see in the Plano area, McKinney, Garland, these little towns around, okay? You look up jobs that are unvaccinated. Guys, guess what? Forget about the remote jobs. We're talking non-remote jobs because you want to get out and interact with people, okay? In my area where I live now, not that I'm really looking for a job, but I said, let me look into it. There was one job, paid $60,000 a year, right? It was called overhead garage door installer, okay? You could make $60,000 a year working as an overhead garage door installer in McKinney, the town of McKinney. You guys can look it up on Indeed. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know anything about garage doors. I'm not really that kind of handy guy, but maybe they give you a truck and maybe that's a good job. You work by yourself. I don't really know. But, what all the schools closing, how many schools? 5,000 schools closed for in-person instruction, okay? That's insane. Students need to be in school. And by the way, my friend, she's a teacher and she's going back today. Kudos to everybody in LA who's going back. I'm not going back because I was, canceled like an old check there, but it's all good. And you got to wear the mask. And teaching with a mask, guys, that's brutal. Try teaching with a mask. You can't communicate. Because, facial expressions really matter, especially children. When you're looking at kids, if you're seeing if they're having learning issues, if they're kind of getting it, you're scanning the room. You're paying attention. It's very, very, very important for kids to be able to communicate with their face. And that's obviously not happening when you're wearing masks, which, do they work? Do masks even work? Certain kind of masks work? Anyway, by the way, CDC numbers say that 95.4% of people are with Omicron, I guess hospitalized with Omicron. 4.6% are with Delta. And the vaccinated people are getting Omicron and transmitting it as well. So you got 96% are Omicron and vaccinated. That's been proven. I mean, we talked about examples of stories that I've heard around Christmas time where everybody's vaccinated getting the COVID. So, guys, all I could say is this. We got to learn to live with this. We have to learn to live with this. It's like we learned to live with AIDS. We learned to live with chickenpox. We learned to live with everything else. We learned to live with it, right? So we have to learn to live with it. So let's move on. I want to keep talking about that. There's a better story. Marc Cuban. Kudos to Marc Cuban. And I talked about him a bunch of times, but this is regarding Bitcoin versus Doge. A little bit about the cryptos here. We'll get back into cryptos later. But so Bitcoin, well, this is what he believes. I believe the same thing, okay? Bitcoin is not to be an inflation hedge, okay? It never will be, is what Marc Cuban believes. Whereas Doge is better suited for payments than Bitcoin is. I always believe that. Dogecoin, all right? A lot of people own Dogecoin. I own Dogecoin, but I purchased it in order to potentially use it. If I could go to Taco Bell, if I could go to Burger King, McDonald's, Target, Walmart, Macy's, Neiman Marcus, Tiffany's. If you could use Barney's, my favorites back in New York days, if you could use your Doge, that would be a great thing, right? Whatever the price is. Talked to a friend of mine, he owns a bunch of it. He's like, yeah, you think it'll ever get back to 50 cents? I say, who knows where anything gets back to? But if you can use it, we can't get it off of Robinhood. I'm still waiting for this wallet, guys. Hello. Robinhood, are you there? Give us the wallet, okay? Let me take my Doge off and start using it. I want to use it because, selling it, then you got to book the profit, and then you're not going to rebuy it, opening up an account somewhere else. So the key is you can't use it. So those of us who own it off Robinhood cannot use it. Now, Cuban, you could buy goods, Dallas Mavericks, etc. But again, he countered this guy. I don't know if you saw Preston PYSH, he goes by on Twitter, kind of pushed Mark on being a pump and dump guy, which is totally not the case. He owns like $1,500 of this stuff, so it's like ridiculous. He's a billionaire. So he said, take a look at the one-year performance comparison between Bitcoin and Doge. Obviously, what's Bitcoin for the year? Let me look it up here. Bitcoin, the one-year return for Bitcoin is 8%, 8.85%. Well, we know Doge went through the roof, but Dogecoin, the one-year return is 1,423%. So clearly, Doge blows away Bitcoin in terms of 1 year. But Doge, again, good for spending, and as Cuban says, better than a lottery ticket. Yeah, if you're buying lottery tickets, I'm not a lottery ticket guy. I think at one time in the past 20 years, I bought a lottery ticket, spent $5 thinking, yeah, who knows, ooh, it'll change your life. Yeah, good luck with that, right? Winning with a lottery ticket. Who gets rich off a lottery ticket? The Lottery Commission gets rich off a lottery ticket. So, guys, if you're pushing back on someone who knows what they're talking about, don't be an idiot. Like this guy, I don't know what this guy's background is, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, Cuban has his beliefs and his strong beliefs, and they're valid beliefs, and I'm in line with him. I talked about this when I was doing Tola Talks 2.0. All right, so let's jump on talking about my friend. So this is what happened, right? So she calls, and we have a great conversation and talked a couple months, because it kind of ended on whatever note. I don't know. She hung up on me, so I didn't even think about it. I just let it go. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't hold grudges. That's not the way I am. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm Italian. You scream. Italian. I'm Sicilian, guys, so you know how it is. I don't know if you know that. Did you ever see Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta at the dinner table? Well, screaming and yelling, but, everybody loves each other, so you don't take it personally. We don't hold it, but we let it go. That's another concept with yoga. Let it go. Well, anyway, so she calls and she says, I think people are starting to get it here. Now, she's in Cali. She's like, I think people are starting to get it here. They're starting to say, we need to learn to live with this thing. We need to learn to live with this thing and get back to some type of normalcy. Teachers need to get back to school. Students need to have confidence in the system. Students need to learn how to read, get these super high illiteracy rates. This is all good for the country, guys. It's good for the world. And what's going on with that? Goodness. There's not so much goodness anymore. When you're treating people differently because they make a personal choice, personal decision, like, tennis players, superstar tennis players that make a choice not to be injected with a chemical that they may not believe in or whatever the reasons are. But, hey, if you choose not to put something in your body, that's your personal choice. I like that. When I bought the desk where I'm sitting right now, I went and met with the guy, and we was talking about COVID, and he said, hey, it's a personal choice getting vaccinated. You don't want to get vaccinated? That's a personal choice. Why should you be persecuted for not being vaccinated? Pretty soon you're not going to be able to get health insurance. You're not going to be able to fly on a plane. I mean, just because you don't want to get vaccinated. Why do you need to get vaccinated? We've already proven that being vaccinated doesn't stop the spread of Omicron. We proved that. They know that. So why do you need to be vaccinated? Is this ever going to end? What's going to happen down the road? My friend says, Rich, in another 4 or 5 years, it's probably going to go by the wayside. No one's going to care. Well, what happens between now and 4 and 5 years? Guys, I don't have health insurance, okay? I'll be 59 in 2 months. Yeah, I'm in great shape, drink from the fountain of youth. But no matter what, if something goes, I got to go and, pay out of pocket. You got to pay out of pocket. You know what rates are nowadays? The medical system, it's unbelievable. We're not going to get into that. That's for a later discussion. But, you're persecuted. No doubt you're persecuted by making a personal choice. I choose not to put alcohol in my body for the past 15 years. You're going to persecute me for that? Speaking of that, alcohol, let me quote you some numbers. All right, I was looking into this because obesity is, it's a problem, okay? It's definitely a problem. I mean, I noticed that when I went to the drugstore the other day to buy this stuff I'm taking for my little head cold here, and I saw a lot of obese people, a lot. So I said, let me just do the numbers here, because that's a comorbidity, right? If you're obese, you got higher risk of health problems, no doubt. So in 2020, these are numbers quoted, CDC numbers, you got 42.4% of U.S. adults are obese. It's 42.5%. That's a huge number. We're ranked number 14 of all countries. The number one country, Nauru, is 60%. It's a tiny island country in Micronesia, northeast Australia. I looked it up. Population 10,834. Agricultural and fishing is there. It's based on their economy. But anyway, I don't know much about that country. But Europe is at 30%. The world average is 39%. So we're higher than the world by a couple percentage points. We've gone up 26% since 2008. So over the past 12 years, we've gone up another quarter percent, 26%. That's a big number, guys. I mean, how does that occur? I was watching a cooking show today in the gym. saw on the TV, and there was a woman who was actually an obese woman who was doing the cooking show. So, yeah, the food looked amazing. It looked like a lot of fatty foods to me. I mean, I'm not a foodie, right? And to me, I eat as simple as I possibly can. Today, I came home. I made I get these organic eggs. So I had 5 eggs, scrambled, put a little hot sauce in there. And I made 3 baked potatoes, and that's it. So hot sauce, baked potatoes, 5 eggs. That's what I consume. Then I drink coffee, guys. That's all I've eaten today. What time is it? It's it's 9:45 right now. I've been up since 5 o'clock. So yeah, whatever. I mean, everybody knows what to eat. We talked about that. But these obesity rates are, I don't know. So I checked out a couple states. I said, what's the highest state? You guys know my credo: health equals wealth. Tolism is my religion. That's another thing. It's like a religion. Do you persecute somebody for their religion? Yeah, it did years ago. But do you look at somebody and say, oh, you're Jewish or you're Christian or you're Muslim, and you throw them in the category and say you can't get certain things? It's like being vaxxed versus unvaxxed. It's like pick a religion. Hey, it doesn't matter to me what your religion is. Respect people for being a human being. Respect people who respect themselves and respect others and respect the universe, right? It's about respect. It's not about persecution. And that's what's going on, which I don't kind of get. But it's not good. It's not good. I feel like a man without a country. I really do. And I've been a good citizen in this country. Working hard, trying to provide value. My whole thing has been to help you empower yourself. Everything I've been doing in terms of this, putting out content, to look me up for the past 15 years. I mean, my first Yoga to Go video, it was about empowering you to empower yourself. Okay, save yourself. Yeah, whatever your religion is, it makes no difference. I don't care what you're worshiping. Me, I worship the temple, the physical temple. That's why I go to the gym every single day. So anyway, I've given you these numbers. Texas, I said, what's the obesity rate in Texas? 35%. The highest state, Mississippi, 41%. Florida is 28%. The lowest is 24%. Now, I think these are overall rates because they were talking about U.S. adults. So, but the country with the most is at 60%, right? That's wild. So anyway, there's a quote and here's some numbers. Again, if you're a person and you have a choice, guys, I'm not going to pick on. It's not like I'm picking on anybody. If you're in the obese category and you don't want to be in the obese category, well, then do something about it. You could do something about it. We all have personal choices we can make, but that's up to you. If you're fine with being in the obese category, that's great. Is that going to give you more chance to have health issues? I don't know. It might. I mean, I would think it does, but what do I know? I just try to stay healthy so I don't have to go to the doctor and pay out of pocket, So anyway, let's jump right on. Speaking to that, drinking from the fountain of youth, because that's another thing. Hey, I have friends that are in the, larger, they look young, looking young, feeling young. That doesn't mean you could be a larger person and look and feel young. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for your own health reasons. Health equals wealth. So if you're in the obesity category and you got health issues, then do something about it. You can do something about it. Anyway, let's jump right into that. Fountain Youth. What did I do today, guys? So I'm still a little under the weather, I think. And because of that, I went to the gym first thing, got there at 5:30 this morning, maybe 5:45. And I did a little ass backwards workout. I typically like to do the smaller body parts at the end. Well, I said, let's do it the other way. I had an issue with my neck. We were talking about neck and back yesterday. I had a little issue with my neck, so I said, let's do the reverse. So I did triceps first, then I did biceps. All right, well, I always do dips and pull-ups, superset. I do that first. Remember, stretch and abs. Let's go back. Stretch and abs, dips and pull-ups are always the first thing I do. Then the rest of it becomes the workout. And the workout was triceps first, biceps second. Then I did shoulders very, very light because I had issues with the neck today. Very light shoulders. What I did is I used the plates. You know what the plates are. They're like not the dumbbells and not the machines. The plates that you put on the straight bar. I used 35-pound plates and I just did shoulder shrugs. Did a couple sets of those. That's an easy thing to do. Then I moved into back. Back was pretty cool. I did a row back machine today. I did 4 or 5 sets. Then I did chest. So I did the ass backwards, the reverse workout. Boom, got it done. I'm going to go back later, do a little massage chair, stretch out, do some abs, maybe do some yoga, getting ready for this weekend's class. Boom, that was my workout today. So again, a little under the weather, but I still go. No, I'm not infecting anybody with anything. I don't get near anybody, but I go it and I get it done because it has to get done. All right, guys, let's jump right into the cryptocurrencies. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know. Doge did a little spike today, probably based on Cuban's thoughts, but it came right back down. You know, Doge just seems like it wants to be around 15 cents, which is fine. It's a long-term game here. We know that. Tesla, by the way, is down around 1,045, kind of working its way down. Hopefully it can kind of hang on to that and go up to 1,200. Told you I bought some of that the other day. And the cryptos, yeah, the cryptos are still mirrored in darkness at the moment here. Bitcoin's at 41,500. It depends who you ask on this. Some guys, I see some billionaires putting more money into it. Other guys think it's overvalued. Some bond king come out and said it's overvalued. Again, nobody really knows, but if you're a professional trader, good luck to you. In this sort of flattened period, when prices are flat, not moving too much up and down, it's harder for these guys to make as much money. So I think you are going to see them start to make a move one direction or another. Can't tell you which one, but hang in there with those. So they're all, Ether looks like it might try to make a move back. It's at 31.20 at the moment. Again, Doge is at 15 cents. Ether Classic has got to struggle back to $30. It's at 29 right now. Litecoin, Litecoin again. I'm a fan of Litecoin. Why is it there stuck under 130? But anyway, and then BSV, 108, 107, 108, who knows? And Bitcoin Cash, I'm kind of rooting for you. So anyway, that's what's going on. I was taking a look at the other cryptos, by the way. Everybody's getting hammered. Again, high-risk asset, lottery tickets for sure. So good luck with that, guys. And, in terms of other stocks, real quick, what else I'm looking at? I knew Tilray was one of the pot stocks that everybody liked to own. That was sort of making a move, came back in a little bit. But let me look at Apple. Apple's at 171. So, and Disney at 156. And Alibaba, how about that? I told you, I called Alibaba. I liked it around 114. It's 133. So anyway, hey guys, stay strong out there. Stay positive in everything that you do. By the way, Robinhood's starting to move a little bit. It's at $16 and change. So stay positive. And, by the way, let me give you these 3. Got to do this here. All right. We talked about the positives yesterday, right? Step 14, drinking from the fountain youth. Keep it simple. Guys, keep it simple like I did with the workout today. I kept it real simple. Got in, got out. Number 15, never complain or make excuses. So if you're a person that needs to lose weight, don't complain about it. Don't make excuses. Just do it. And finally, don't futurize. Don't futurize. Love that step. Step 16. We might review these tomorrow. Don't futurize. Don't talk about, it's the future, right? It's today. Focus on the present. What can you be doing today to empower yourself, your mind, body, and your spirit today? Do it, and you're a winner, always. All right, guys. Have an awesome day. Get your workout in. See you tomorrow. Peace.